Chapter 7.3 Triangles. You can use side lengths and angle measures to classify triangles. Classifying triangles using angles. Acute triangle means that all angles are acute, or less than 90 degrees. An obtuse triangle means it has one angle that is obtuse, so that one angle must be more than 90 degrees. A right triangle has one right angle, or one angle that measures 90 degrees. And an equal angular triangle has three congruent angles. That means all angles must be the same, or 60 degrees. Classifying triangles using sides. Congruent sides have the same length. So we have scalene triangle, that means no congruent sides, or no sides are the same. Isosceles triangle means it has at least two congruent sides. And if you see the red tick marks on the triangle, you will see that those two sides are congruent. And the equilateral triangle has three congruent sides. So all three sides are congruent or the same. So it says classify each triangle. So this triangle, we have a 25-degree angle, a 40-degree angle, and a 115-degree angle. Two of the angles are acute and one is obtuse. So that means it has to be an obtuse triangle. Now we have to have another name for it. That's with our angles. Now we got to look at our sides. Well, one easy way to figure that out is, are any of the sides the same? If no sides are the same, no angles are the same, that means no sides are the same. And since none of our angles are the same, we know no sides are the same. So it would be scalene. So this is obtuse scalene. Now let's look at our next one. There's no numbers, but they have some important information. First information that we can see is the two red marks that mean those two angles are the same. Those two angles are also acute. Alright? Now it doesn't have a third line where the third angle is, so that means not all three are the same. So that means that it's just going to be an acute triangle. And we know two angles are the same and two sides are the same because of those red marks. So we now have an isosceles triangle. So this would be acute isosceles. The next triangle, we have a 45, and a right angle. So that right angle automatically means that it's a right triangle. And we know two angles are the same because they're 45 and 45, and two sides are the same. So this would be an isosceles. So our last example that we're going to do here is this purple triangle. And as you can see, there's three lines at the angles, and then there's the three lines on the actual sides of the triangle. So that's an easy triangle for us because we know everything is the same. So this is going to be equal angular and equal lateral. So now it says that we are going to draw a triangle with an angle measure of 30 degrees, 60 degrees, and 90 degrees, then classify the triangle. So I have my protractor here. First thing I need to do is draw a line, and this time I'm only going to draw a line from halfway all the way across to the right side. First thing I'm going to do is draw a 30-degree angle. So I am going to find my 30 degrees, which is right here, and I am now going to draw a 30-degree line. And I need to make sure my protractor stays on the side. So I have this. And I'm going to draw my line. And that is my 30-degree line. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to move my protractor to the other side of my line. And I'm going to straighten it out and make a 60-degree line. So from this side, I'm going to make 60 degrees, which is actually over here. So now I'm going to connect these two. connect those two lines, and I'm only going to connect it to about right there. That way I don't need to erase anything. So I'm going to erase this part right here that I don't need, that's not part of my triangle. And I'm going to label this 60 degrees, which now means that this angle is a right angle. So there's my angle that I have drawn. Now it says classify the triangle. So when I classify it, I have to do it with the sides and the angle. So I have a 30, a 60, and a 90. Well, we know 90 is a right angle. So we know it's a right triangle. And since none of the sides are the same, it is going to be scalene. Now my next question says draw a triangle with measures of 45, 45, and 90 degrees. Then classify the triangle. So again, I'm going to take my protractor and I'm going to draw a line halfway across. Then I'm going to draw a 45-degree angle, which is between 40 and 50. So I'm now going to take my triangle and move it like that. I now have my 45-degree angle. Now I'm going to take my protractor and move it to the other side. Make sure I get it just lined up. Just about right there. I'm going to make a 45-degree angle on this side, which is between 40 and 50 again. Take my protractor and draw that one. Again, I'm not going to go all the way to my dot because my triangle doesn't go that far. So now here's my thing. Here's my 45-degree angle. And by process of elimination, I've just made my 90-degree angle. Move my protractor out of the way. Erase the part of the triangle I don't need. Now I need to classify it. We have 45, 45, and 90. So again, since it's 90 degrees, it's going to be a right triangle. And we have two sides, two angles that are the same. So that means two sides are the same. So it's going to be isosceles. Now the next thing we're going to do is we're going to draw a triangle with a 3-centimeter side and a 4-centimeter side that meet at a 20-degree angle. Then classify the triangle. So I have my ruler out here, and as you can see, it's a little bit bigger than the normal ruler, but for your sake, it is a centimeter ruler. So it says draw a triangle with a 3-centimeter side. So what I am going to do is draw a triangle that has 3 centimeters. So right here is 3 centimeters. Now it says at a 4-centimeter side that made a 20-degree angle. So now I need to get my protractor out. And with my protractor, I'm going to make a 20-degree angle, which is right here. Now, I am finished with my protractor. And I am now going to make a 4-centimeter side with the line that I just drew that said it was 20 degrees. So we are right here, and I'm going to connect these two lines. So this is 3 centimeters, this is 4 centimeters, and this is 20 degrees. So now I need to connect my line. So there's my other line. Now, I have a 20 degree, and if you look, this angle right here is more than 90 degrees. So it is not an acute triangle. It's not a right triangle. It is an obtuse triangle. And we know that none of the sides are the same because we have a 3 and a 4, and obviously this one here is a lot smaller, so it would be scalene. So we have an obtuse scalene triangle.